This is how you make it work when you don't have any books edition of Minute to Skim It with Miss Jen and
Hannah.
Hanna. I like it. So I really actually did read these books, but not in the traditional sense. I read them as PDFs. Thank you to all the publishers that found time in their super busy day to send them to me. I know it's not an easy task, so probably people don't have PDFs of their books just laying around that they can send off in the mail. Because usually those are in like super high res whatevers that go to printers and not necessarily for us. Oh, Anne! Hello! So Hanna is super Christmassy up. I have to say, Hannah's like clothing game in the last month has been elevated. She wore a dress the other day. She was wearing cool heels. Yeah. Now she's got this cool
my mom gave me this
sweater
this is hers.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's looking beautiful. And I'm like the boy version in my cool bloodshot shin combo. I told Henri I was going to wear the Yishun Shin today. By the way, if you ever want to read a really awesome series based in real history about a Korean naval commander who went up against the Japanese multiple times, many, many times, and never lost against the Japanese. That. It's like really well written.
Yeah.
And the great art. And there's like 3 series. So you can read it. All right. I'm going to start up here with black and this is like a super rare version of this book, by the way. It's extra thin, very light. Sorry, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 20. So it's a storyline that says Ring of Fire. Stylish, right? So the cool thing about this series is that it still drew on all the stuff we knew from the TV shows. But when they restarted it under Boom, it wasn't a rehash of those things. You know, you're really worried about like, great, I've already read all this stuff. I know everything about these characters. So where we are in this series right now is that there is weirdly, you know, usually one Slayer has to die before another Slayer appears, correct?
Yeah.
There's a problem. There's a new Slayer in town, along with you have a pair, right? That always happens. There's always a Slayer and their Watcher, right?
Yeah.
So there's both in town. And they appear to be legitimate and not like some demon version of themselves. Like there's no like, psh, psh, we're demons. And there's also this like side story where one of the characters has been drawn into Angel's like web of deceit. I'm a demon, but I'm also kind of cool and feel bad for me. So it's kind of like a love triangle thrown together with a mystery of like why in the world is this other Slayer in town? Because Buffy is clearly still alive. It's not like she's like, you know, sometimes they have cool TV shows where like you just don't know where the other person is and that it's making you feel like they're dead. But no, she's totally in this issue, so that's not it. Oh, you're just gonna go straight to the cute books.
Yes. Nice. So this one, it says on the back, graphic novels for everyone. So everybody needs to get this one. This is Tiny Titans, Beast Boy and Raven. Although it's not only Beast Boy and Raven. There's a section where Beast Boy is the central character and a section where Raven is the central character. And then another section where it's everybody. And what else can I say about it? Have a pencil ready because there are some fun little activities to do in this book.
I love those activities.
Yeah. So it's great. Art by Art Baltazar. And it'll just make you want to go, oh yeah. Because it's really good.
Are there mazes they want to know?
There is a maze that I was able to do with my finger, which
Your
is harder
wish.
than you think.
Your wish. Like I can see Kyle in the background being woo.
And of course, there is some Trigon in this because Raven. So
I think it's hilarious that they show this relationship between her and her dad. When she's such a cute being.
yeah,
Her dad's quite obviously a demon. And she's like, of course, that kind of speaks to the way people sometimes feel. Like they might be feeling like a totally normal human being, and yet family member total trolls. All right, the big hot book of the week is quite clearly King in Black. And in true Marvel style, they gave like a 6-page teaser. And yeah, it's totally on fire. They give us a 6-page teaser, and then it doesn't really tell us anything. So it starts out with Eddie brooding on the top of a building and saying that he knows that he should be worried about something specific, which is all the giant red flying dragons that the rest of the Avengers, etc., found in space heading toward Earth, which is not a good thing as we see that it's getting closer and closer. He should be worried about that, but what he's really worried about is Dylan, and which I guess he should be. So there's always those two things that have been going on. So if you're a fan of anything that's been going on that Donny Cates has been writing, which will be Doctor Strange, Thor, Guardians, Thanos, Venom, and he's been toying around with some other stuff.
Anything.
Here's where it's all coming together. It's totally coming together. Somebody usually dies. I didn't get to read the end of the book, so I don't know. But I just wanted to quote a movie because I like to quote movies. 1,000,000 points if you know the movie quote I just used.
I'm gonna do my big, well, not big crossover, but the one that's starting now. Endless Winter. This is Justice League Endless Winter. This is one of, I believe, 9 books that are going to cross over for DC for Endless Winter. And this one, don't miss it if you're going to read Endless Winter because this sets everything up. This gets you to know exactly who or what starts off this winter. It might break your brain because it kind of broke mine a little bit, and
No.
And yes, this is exactly what's going on currently with all of the rest of everything. It's not outside of everything. Aquaman, in the last issue of Aquaman, yes, he just got married. Yes, he does show up for a second in this book and says exactly like he's with them instead of being on his honeymoon or planning his honeymoon. So yeah, if you're a fan of winter, this book is definitely for you. Get some hot chocolate or coffee and warm up while you read it.
And you really should tell your local comic shop if you
Yeah.
would like this on your pull, because it feels like there have been a lot of big event books that have kind of finished even in DC recently. And they might be like some people have fatigue for events. They might have ordering events fatigue.
Yeah.
So make sure that they know that you would like them and all the tie-ins, because it's going to be a really quick one because it's like the main series and then it runs through a bunch of titles and then it's done. So you might blink and then it's done.
Yeah, I can't wait because I like the short ones, but I also really like the long ones. And this will be a good one to get you geared up for Future State.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I didn't say it before why we're doing this, but it looks like a huge percentage of the country did not receive their books today, which is usually the time when they process it all for tomorrow in the morning. So look at your local comic shop's pages, the web page, etc., is find out if that happened to them, which means they won't get them until sometime tomorrow, so that they won't have them when they open. They'll be processing like crazy, so be extra patient with them. That doesn't stop us from selling stuff. We know exactly how many copies we've got, so we're going to sell imaginary copies until the real ones come. All right, so this is AWA Upshot by Car Andrews. It's called Erratic. This one's got a funny premise. This is probably, I think it really is, the first real superhero. Resistance is one of their very first titles, but it has superheroes in it, but I don't really call it a superhero book. This is like, there is a character who's a superhero as the main character instead of a group happening.
Right.
Because that one was more like a pandemic.
It was so good, though.
And then it rolls into, oh yeah, it's a superhero book.
Yeah.
So it's really good, but it doesn't show itself at the very beginning as a superhero book.
Right. And there's no specific one character that's a superhero that they follow.
Right.
Versus this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this one.
This was a 15-year-old kiddo. And they have superpowers, but the catch is for this kiddo that they can only use them for 10 minutes. So I don't know what, of course, I didn't get to read this copy, but I think there's probably going to be some kind of caveat for they have to rest for X amount of time and then they can use it for another 10 minutes. But it's probably so far away from the event they need it for that they have to really think about and plan out how they're going to use their 10 minutes. And as you know, teenagers are known for their patience and reasoning deductions. Henri! So Henri and I have got a fun show planned in the future where we're going to totally do a dual show. It'll be martial arts themed.
Ooh.
I have Taekwondo under my belt. Yeah, that was a pin. And I don't know what Henri's is. Maybe just the kung fu's. But yeah, it's going to be ridiculous and high energy.
I also have Taekwondo under my belt. My 3rd degree level black belt.
Oh, you totally out. I think I made it to like purple.
Hey, the purple one's my favorite.
Just wanted to stop there because I like that color the best. Again. So a lot of high kicks tomorrow. Roundhouses
We're also
galore.
right next to a Taekwondo studio, so. All right, Tales from the Dark Multiverse, because these have been amazing. But it always makes me want to go back and read what happened. This one gives you exactly what happened before, and then it kind of like, and I guess the other ones kind of did that too, but it's this one kind of gave me more of a rundown as to what happened before the start of this book, which I loved. And so this is the Wonder Woman War of the Gods, where instead of her and Hecate's battle for control going the way that it does in history, where, she wins, Hecate wins out in this one. And of course, how are they going to get Wonder Woman back if they do?
Oh.
Ooh, it's so good. It was so good. It's a really long one. So take a good chunk of time for that one. But I loved it.
I do love how they
I love the art for
they
it
tell
too.
a story that's been told in a different way.
That's what I love about the Dark Multiverse, is because it's retelling it, but in a totally new way and with an entirely different.
Makes you go back and want to look at the source material if you can find it.
Exactly.
Some of the stories they've got them based on, and you're like, well, how am I going to get a copy of that now?
Right.
That's a crazy bill. All right.
Thankfully, they're doing reprints for a lot of their other stuff too. So
the surprise hot book of the week, and I know what the twist is, so avoid the internet.
Oh, yeah.
I've already seen someone spoiling it out there, so
Yeah.
don't. This is Daredevil number 25. Super, super spoilery. Yeah, avoid everybody. And this is the hot book already. If you look on the Bay, it's already. And don't look at Bay. Also, don't look at Bay because it actually has a spoiler in the title. So don't look there either. No,
Yeah.
just trust me. Just trust me. It's an expensive book already. that Daredevil's actually in jail because by his actions, someone was killed. And so he is going to have to pay the price. So the question is, if the Daredevil is going to spend his time for his entire term, somebody has to be the Daredevil. So without spoiling anything, somebody else is going to be the Daredevil. And you find out in this book.
I might have to do a couple more because I only have 2 left.
Oh, you only have 2 left? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this one has multiple acts in it. This is an original graphic novel called Kill a Man. And so I'm going to go like this. I think it's pixelated. I'm just going to guess.
Yeah,
Steve Orlando still doing
Yeah.
Steve Orlando.
Yeah.
All right, so
It was just a tiny
no,
image,
it's okay.
so-
I forgot to tell you, like if you click the icon and make it big in the screen, when you do it, it becomes big in the when you bring it over. Instead of having to spread it out.
Got it.
I learned cool things today. All right, so Kill a Man is amazing. So it starts out with a big boxing match in which one of the characters, it knows that the other one, or at least guesses, it's found out, there's a rumor, I don't know how he knows, that the other boxer is gay. And so he's just like the whole time in the ring, like using all these slurs toward him.
I heard about
This one happens, I think the initial part happens in like 1988 or something, which doesn't seem like a time when, like, even then we were more enlightened about it, I guess. But anyway, during the match, eventually the one boxer kills the other one. And the one that opened his big fat mouth is one that dies, by the way. And that's in the solicitation for this, so I'm not telling you any spoilers. That was totally in it. But then it jumps forward in time to that man's son. And he is an MMA fighter. And he finds himself in all kinds of weird situations when he finds himself up for the title match. And then he gets catfished, very publicly called out. So it's a very complex situation. And it's got a lot of emotion to it, and I love it. If you like MMA fighting, it definitely goes, you know, like when you like it, when they teach you new terminologies and all those kinds of things, you learn about boxing and all the, it's not just about that drama. It's about human drama and learning a new sport. And I only got to read the first story arc. It's a big graphic novel, obviously.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it. So good. If you're into sports.
And that one's from Aftershock.
Yeah, it's totally Aftershock.
Oh, and I see Kyle answered it, but Chip Zdarsky is writing Daredevil, and he did tweet about it to, you know, avoid spoilers. So
did he say?
He didn't say the
close
spoiler.
your fat mouth.
Yeah. All right. So Batman 104. This is part 3, I think.
Does this tie in any way with the Batman Catwoman?
It does not. Okay. Well, not. It ties, like, events that happened in Batman when Tom King was writing tie into that. But not a whole lot. They don't touch on a whole lot of what's going on currently in Batman yet.
Okay.
But it does, because it's the same storyline. I mean, this is it's a lot.
I was worried that they had separated Tom King's universe from everything else.
No.
Thank goodness.
Because Alfred had died in Batman issue 8. Something. It's like 79, I think.
I can't remember.
That's probably way wrong.
It's in the right spot.
Yeah.
I see Travis Gibbon.
Yeah. And Alfred has not come back in Tynan's. So, but this is still relating with the Clown Killer. Harley is still with Batman, and the Ghost Maker storyline is still going on.
I hope they keep all these bad guys because
Oh
I
my
love their
gosh.
names. And their character design is so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Please don't let them be red shirts.
Which in the last issue of Batman, Ghostmaker and Batman's, like, a little bit of their history was revealed. There's more of that backstory revealed in this issue. And also in the last issue, we saw Clown Killer is pretty much hunting Harley, has been trying to hunt Harley down for, pretty much since his parents were killed by the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's on the cover. So that's all I'm gonna. Yeah, 77. That's what it was. I was really close. That's all I'm really gonna say about that one, just because there's so much that happens. But we also get to see a little bit of Dick Grayson's backstory of what he knows about Ghostmaker, which I think is super awesome. So since he's got his memory back, so
very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I did not get to read this one, but I did want to make sure that everybody knows about it. This is COVID Chronicles. Ethan Sachs and Deborah Talia.
I'm so excited.
And a bunch of other folks. This is true stories from the front lines of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. There's a foreword by Alyssa Milano, which makes it extra cool because she's the boss.
Yeah.
And it's only $10. Part of the money goes to support COVID recovery. That's why I put it on my list a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I wish it said how many pages it is, but it's a larger format one. It's not just a thin comic book. So, since today is Charitable Tuesday or something?
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday. Mm-hmm. You can be giving.
Yeah.
I guess it's tomorrow. Judith Light was the boss. I don't know. We can debate about this all the time. There's a class at the local community college, I'm pretty sure. See if anyone knows what that's right. Lumberjanes End of Summer. You know that Lumberjanes number 75 was the very end of the run of books. End of Summer is like the end cap for it. Mm-hmm. So I will tell you, it's full of the feels, especially if you've been into the series for a long time. All you really need to know to enjoy this is that all the people that you see have been together and have gone through lots of fun adventures. They are all as part of a group that's kind of like the Girl Scouts, but it's called the Lumberjanes. And what they're saying is friendship to the max. So it's all about working together. They accept each other all for who they are.
It's so good.
And you would think there would be just like regular camping, but no, they find like unicorns in the forest and those kinds of things. So there's definitely a mystical part of it, but it'll give you all the feels. It will make you want to go back and read it all. Mm-hmm. And I think that they announced Lumberjanes is in development. I don't know how they're going to do it, if they're going to do it animated or if they're going to
do it animated.
Do it with real people, but either way, I'm fine. Yes, he did. He totally did.
All right. Batman, Catwoman. Oh, man. All right. So, in the Catwoman special, there was, I think it was like the very middle story in that book. That was Tom King.
Talking about the 80-page giant?
Yeah, the 80-page giant. Right. And it exactly ties directly to Tom King's Batman run. It ties directly to this. So I recommend going back and reading that beforehand, because I didn't, but I still remembered, thankfully. But there's quite a bit of a time skip from the Batman run that Tom King did to this book. There's flashbacks. There's stuff that's going on in the present time in this book. There's
oh, your emoji game is strong, Kyle.
The art in this book is phenomenal, as always. And I don't really think I need to say much else other than this book I've been waiting on for so long, and I wasn't ready.
No?
No, it was, oh my goodness, there's so much. There's so much in that book.
I never finished reading the series because I was just sure that they had secretly been married since issue 49 or whatever. And then there was a giant double cross, and I still believe it's true. I want them to reveal it, that I'm just right.
Well, you're going to have to read and find out.
I know. I know. All right. Knock 'em Dead is my last one. This is also Aftershock. I was super excited to read this one. So the main character is just a fellow who really wants to be a comedian. It looks like he's in between jobs. And he goes for his first open mic, and he sucks. And it's funny the way they draw it. It's hilarious because it's literally him standing in the frame. And instead of having whatever joke he said, it's just like a little circle with like a really, like someone scribbled something in it. And then at the end of like, it'll have like panel with that, and then it'll have panel with eggplant. Like he's like, it's like he's relying on the same joke over and over again, obviously, because that's what he does. So then there's something, everyone sucks at the first open mic, but he goes to many, many, many open mics in this book, and he's still like, nothing changes. He's still horrible at it. And he ends up catching a ride home with another guy who does open mic, and something bad happens on the way home. And so this one ends with a cliffhanger about it. So I'm super excited to see how this plays out. So if you were a fan of Dying is Easy, which was the one about the cop, there was a murder mystery, and he also was a comedian, but he was actually good. Yeah. So it's the same vein of book. I thought it was going to be way more because it's described as horror comedy, but there's not as much like it's not like a tongue-in-cheek, like you're not reading a book as told by Deadpool, like that kind of stuff. It's not like that. It's more in the horror real life vein than that. I've seen the show Barry. No, what is it on?
Okay.
Oh, HBO. Yeah, I don't have HBO Max. I'm not the cool kid.
Me neither.
That's all right, Tina.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that after this. All right. I was gonna say, let me see what else I think is coming out that you guys will want. Also to pay attention to, there are some really cool Zenoscope books that are one shots. There's Bell Targeted Prey, and then I think it was a Christmas one that I'm not gonna be able to find because I'm trying to find it.
Of course.
And there's that Texas Blood is going to do it. As a tie-in to the King in Black, because there's a new one called The Union, which shows a brand new team. And there's also probably going to be hard to find Null Marvel Tales because it's one of those expensive $7.99 books. So I don't know how much of those were ordered. And the Miles Morales Spider-Man 21, my gut tells me that one's going to be a hot one, even though I did not get to read it. I
was bummed because I didn't get to read Stranger Things D&D crossover.
Those are really the big ones.
Yeah.
I tried to get access to the ones that I thought you guys were going to be interested in. So it's going to be a really cool week, but thanks, Tina. Just be patient with your local comic shops because the delay for the books. Hey man, if you have some extra free time tomorrow, right around noon, you just showed up at your local comic shop with like able hands, able to stuff comic books into bags and boards. If you just want to like be sweet to them, I know they would love it. All right, and if you're not near your local comic shop and you're traveling, which you probably should be home by now, unless you just decided to stay wherever you went to Thanksgiving and just stay there forever, then you want to know where their local comic shops are. You can find them by going to comicshoplocator.com. And you can learn more about the other things that are coming out this week by going to previewsworld.com. That is Diamond's site, and they have all the information about this week's, next week's, and ongoing.
Yep.
And they also have some really sweet shows on there that are fun to watch.
And other things, not just comics.
Oh yeah, they got all kinds of things on there. Gaming. Yeah. All right, everybody. We will see you guys next week for another Minute to Skim It, which hopefully the books will not have been delayed. But it won't matter. We'll still make it work. All right, everybody. See you later.